Good afternoon, gentlemen and ladies. For those of you that don't know my smiling face, I'm Officer White. Been with Tampa General Security just over 10 years. I am our security manager, FDLE certified in use of force, FDLE certified in bomb detection and active shooter response. I'm our only hospital CPI instructor, and I'm going to be sharing some of the CPI related techniques with you, gentlemen and ladies, even though you're not being CPI certified. A lot of people aren't aware that there are physical response techniques that are hospital approved. Sometimes when you get that aggressive visitor that's gotten too close, warm and fuzzy, and things are getting quite interesting, TGH does provide you with some countermeasures. So I'm going to cover some of that for you today. If you look at my little caption right behind you, and you look at the very top clip, you see this nice close-up, warm and personal, warm and fuzzy conversation going on. Now, we hope that with you dealing with PD, that you don't have visitors that get that close in your space, but rumor has it that sometimes you do. That sometimes people express themselves quite boldly. So I'm going to cover some things with you today. We'll start with code Bert and my code Gray. So I want to make sure first that you know what they are, how to get your responses, and what's expected of you as team members, what's expected when security or TPD arrives. So code Bert, that means that that patient or that visitor is cursing, screaming, yelling, not following plan of commands. It's the patient. Some of your patients can be more challenging. They're balancing with emotional issues as well as physical disabilities. And it's not always easy to get rationale to get them to understand that you're trying to help. However, when it is the visitor, we at Tampa General use what they call a 3-strike process. You're going to make a very, very valid attempt to de-escalate a verbally aggressive patient or visitor. Once you've made that first attempt, and now they've crossed that boundary line, they're throwing out those favorite words. Look, B, I told you 4 times, get in my room now. My son needs you now. Sir, I'm going to be your nurse for the day. I'm going to give you world-class care. You're going to respect me, I'm going to respect you, and we're going to do a great job for the patient. Oh, now you're sensitive, right, B? That's strike 2. That's strike 2. The next thing that they say crazy, Tampa General wants you to initiate your service response plan for backup. You're going to call that code Bert. You want the cavalry start arriving. What's happening far too often is you gentlemen and ladies are investing a great portion of your day dealing with verbally aggressive patients and visitors. So you're like wore out, you're tired. You move to the next room and you're physically drained from what you just experienced. They don't want you investing your time that way. You guys have excellent skills and we want that time spent with the patient. So when you're having that person that's of interest, you don't have to call a code sometimes. You can call security direct. What's the direct number for security? You know? You're reading your badge. That's why we have in training. The direct number for security to call right to my guys. Do you know? And she's looking at me like she's now got a smaller eye factor. What's the number for security? See, look, he's got Parkinson's in it. So we know that all numbers on campus start with 813-844. Security is 7363. Okay, you've seen something in your area that makes you more concerned. That, this might be more than normal security. You got that person that walks in, and they walk in a normal course of life with their hunting knife on their hip. Like, wait a minute, did he just walk by me with a hunting knife? If you see something, TGH policy is, say something. That looks a little out of place. What's the number to call TPD if you need TPD on campus? Do you know?
No, I don't.
Isn't it great that they're offering training for this? It is not on your badge. So stop looking at it. It is not there. I'm going to give it to you now. 3260. What's that number?
3260.
You need to have that sucker in one of your major spots where you carry. Get your permanent marker, Sharpie or something, put it back of your badge. You know, everything's 844. 3260 rings at my security desk in the ER. Sitting right next to our security in the ER is TPD. They're dying for something to do. We're dying to give them something to do. But again, don't exhaust yourself trying to work through. If you've made 3 valid attempts and they're not complying, the term is they are consistently resisting staff. They're consistently hindering care. It now goes to that big term. TJs wants you to take all threats serious. All threats. At the point that visitor says, you know what? I'll punch you right in the face. They stepped forward, they showed a clenched weapon. That means they possibly have the ability to do what they carried out. We're going to remove them. Now, a visitor may be removed temporarily, or it may be a long-term process. We have this thing called a trespass. Do you know how trespass works? Do you know how trespass works? Isn't this great? I'm glad we're here today, so watch this. You get a visitor that has threatened you. I'll choke you out right here. That's violent. When security responds, you're going to use this phrase. I don't feel safe with him here. He just threatened me. That is the magic combination of words that will have them removed. Now, trespass. They're removed from property. They may not come back for a period of up to 12 months. If they return and they're not seeking immediate medical attention, they can and are often arrested on property. You might not have an idea of how often we have cold burps on our property. In my hand, I have 46 packets, 46 pages, 35 entries of cold burp on every page. 46 pages, 35 burps every page. This is 10 months of hospital activity, not a full year. Don't be afraid to call the cavalry. When you call a cold burp, make sure you understand what you're requesting. This person has become verbally aggressive. Patients become verbally aggressive. If you call a burp, you're saying security stand by, don't engage yet. We want to see if psych, the professionals, can talk them down. Now you have a disadvantage. You're not aware of when psych is not available for your floor and your shift. They send me an email, White, we have some training or something special going on. There's no psych available for this window of time. So during that window, I send a blast out to all my guys. They know if there's a burp, go in. Because I wear soft uniform. My officers wear hard uniform. They look like TPD. So for some visitors that act out on your unit, security response, you have 2 or 3 guys show up that look like the police. Some people are going to take it way down. Some people waiting for us to leave so they can get crunk. They're going to take it way up. Oh, you call a popo? Watch what happens when they leave. Watch me now. So again, if you say burp, you're asking psych to go inside. Security stand by on alert. We're ready, but we're not engaging yet. Now, if things starts to change during that burp, they're not responding to psych's attempts to de-escalate. Now security will engage. Code gray, imminent risk of injury. Imminent risk of injury. So I want to make sure that you understand the difference. Burp, I'm standing here, I'm still cursing, screaming, yelling. As soon as I take a step towards you, that's gray. That's active motion towards you to potentially create harm. And that could be your visitor or your patient. So, quick test. What is the average age factor of the patients that you work with in your rehab? From 8 to...
From 0 to 101.
Ah, so you got grandpa and grandma too. Okay, so here you go. Sally, she's 93. She weighs 93. Sally moves with a walker when she goes. She's a little rickety. And you're coming in, hi Sally, I'm here with you today. How are you? Said, don't you come over here. Walk over here, watch her hit you right in the face. Sally just showed you a 93-year-old bristle. Is this a burp or gray? Ooh, how many people say burp? Okay. Right. You've not made any attempts to de-escalate with Sally. You just immediately, oh, calling all cars. Sally's off the hook. Hi, ma'am. You've got your wonderful section right in front of her camera. She's recording. But thank you. We appreciate your participation. Thank you, thank you. Now, I'm covering that because, watch this, a lot of our staff, because Sally's 93, will make a poor choice. We place ourselves at harm's way, Sally's still seated, and we engage to de-escalate. Now, Sally, calm down. Ah! Sally just got you. She told you walk over here, watch her hit you in the face. And we often walk over and lower ourselves into striking range. CPI teaches what they call supportive stance. Even if your patient is seated, I'm going to click to that for you in just a little while. Everything is angled and bladed. When you walk directly in front of a person, for some people you don't know if they've ever been assaulted, what their beliefs and background is, what personal experiences they've had. Some people, their flag goes up when you get too close in front of them. So I'll tell you, always approach at an angle. That person feels like if they're mobile and they're capable, they can freely move past you. And I'm still talking with my hands. I'm in my pre-block, my Miyagi zone. So you guys didn't do too good on the first one. Says this, oh, you think it's a joke? She gets her walker and she starts working it towards you. Is this gray or bird? So temperature policy says, generate 3 to 5 foot space immediately from all aggressive patients or visitors. 3 to 5, how far? So Sally's working it forward. Sally, stop playing. You know them yellow socks ain't gonna make it, girl. You better stop. But I'm in defensive mode. Hands are extended, I'm in defensive mode. By the way, this little section has 22 pages. There are 35 entries every page of code graves for a 10-month time frame hospital-wide. 11 of these pages, someone was punched, kicked, bit, slapped, hit with a projectile because they didn't listen to some of the things that I'm telling you today. Generate space. How much space? Oh my gosh, I said it almost in harmony. So, if a visitor slaps your face, talk me through what is the first series of things you do. Talk me through. You're in a room and the patient's dad just went, ah!
I put space between that person and myself.
Okay.
And I call her code gray.
Okay. Okay, now what's next? Pick up the torch. She generates space. She called for security. What's next?
I'm gonna stay away.
Thanks, Diana.
What's next? Talk them through. Help me out. Come on. I want to see what you guys know before I show. Come on, come on. Okay, you've exited the room. Security arrives, and now you're doing what? And TPD asks you if you want to press charges, and you say what? He paused. He paused. He pondered. So watch this. Your administration has a 0 tolerance for assault against staff. Assault against a healthcare worker is a first-degree felony, carries 5 years imprisonment. Now, a lot of people don't close the bow. They don't know how to tie that nice little knot. I'm going to cover all the pieces for you now. You've just been assaulted. Person pushed you. Person punched you. Anything that made physical contact. You are going to generate space. You are going to call security. You are going to do a full incident report. You're going to go in that risk master. You're going to do a full report. You then want to make sure you go in the patient's chart. You want to document everything you experienced from that visitor. If it's a patient who struck you, you want to generate a pattern because patients can be administratively discharged if they show a consistent pattern of violence against staff. Visitors can be removed, trespassed, charged, and arrested for assault against staff. So my heroes that do a full incident report need to then do one more piece. I need you to either go to employee health or the ER to be seen for the assault. Even if you don't have a visible injury, he physically snapped my face, I want somebody to check it. Because now the incident report, a copy of your medically being seen, forwards to court to go for that individual. The judge doesn't need you to show up. They need documentation of what happened because you're not there. I have no idea how I won the winning prize, but when offenders go before the judge, if they work with the public defender's office and they sign that wonderful form and they say, you know what, totally my fault, I don't know what I was thinking, they'll negotiate. They'll let them do 12 months and stay at Orient Road. But they challenge it and they go before the judge. Most of them serve at least 3 to 4. Now, 30 days before they're released, I get one of these wonderful little forms. And it says, Bill, that you just locked up to serve X amount of time, Bill will be released in 30 days. We generate a bolo for Bill, and we're waiting for Bill to start the cycle again. Because we don't play. We got your back. Now, you know about Code Gray, Code Bird, your response systems for Code Gray. Tell me one way to call for security.
3260.
3260, get it, girl. Call Security Direct. Tell me another way to call for help.
The 7777.
7777 code line. Please remember to add the 844. We actually, I don't know how many of you got the alert. We actually had a code pink that went out during Christmas holidays. Did everybody get that alert?
Yeah.
Staff panicked. Mom did actually leave with their baby without checking out. And they were studying 7777. They remember you needed to connect that 844 to actually get the code line that our phone system changed. I need that registered in your mind so the first time you dial, you're getting resources. So we know about security. We know about TPD at that 3260. We know the code line, 7777. Everybody should know how this thing works, yes? Everybody knows this thing, yes? Look, I got some people still making small eyes at me. So when you pull your duress button, all you do is release that lever, lights literally flash inside our security SOC, an alarm audibly goes off that's quite loud, sounds like a fire station. Your location pops up in red and starts flashing. And security will be dispatched to your area. How long does security have to get to you?
5 seconds.
She must think we like Ant-Man or something.
You are.
2 minutes.
That's too long.
Security responds 2 minutes anywhere in the hospital, so watch this. 2 minutes is a long time if you're in a room and somebody becoming aggressive. As crazy as it sounds, my favorite fighter has now retired, Floyd Mayweather. Floyd did 3-minute rounds. Floyd had dietitians. Floyd ran. Floyd had sparring partners. Do you have sparring partners? No. So you got to do 1 minute less than Floyd. Wow. So you've got to know your response systems, and what I tell everybody is check your surroundings. When you walk into a patient area, what's blocking your path? Were you able to walk directly to the patient area and walk directly out? Does this person have 1 visitor, 2 visitors, or are you walking around visitors to get in and out? What is your exit plan? What is your strategy if something goes wrong? You should have a plan. Are you emotionally prepared? Because watch this. She went in 3 people's rooms in a row, and either the patient or the visitor done cussed her out and gave her a hard time. So when she comes out of room number 3, she's here. When she walks into room number 4, in her mind, not our fine TGH staff, but she's already said, let the next person try me, watch what happens. Soon as they say anything crazy, she's forgot about her 3 valid attempts. She's already, Code Bird, she's in the hall. Not you, of course. But you want to be emotionally prepared. If you have reached your limit, notify your supervisor, I need a short break. I'll be all right, but I need a short break. You need to be emotionally prepared, especially if you've read that chart notes and you know I'm ready to go in to see another possibly aggressive patient or visitor. You've looked at those notes. You went through your shift briefing. Pass on, they tell you, Bill's dad can be quite challenging. You know, I just saw a large male go in there. I bet that's possibly Bill's dad. How many of you tap out and get another coworker? Hey, watch my back right quick. I'm going to Bill's room. I saw Dad there. Work as a team. Team tandem is the secret to success. You go in alone, something goes wrong, you call it alone. It's more difficult getting out of there. Make sure that you try to get a mutual goal with your people that are verbally aggressive. Not to put you on the spot, ma'am, but remember your verbal exit. Remember your verbal exit. You get a visitor that's gotten in your face and he's got the finger going and they're cursing, they're yelling. People like to know they're right. Don't challenge them. Relax, remain calm. You know what? You may have a valid point. This is also my pre-block mode. You may have a valid point. Let me get a supervisor for you. I'll be right back. And people looking at your badge, they don't see no title on there. They want to yell at somebody that's got some big letters on their badge. They want to talk to somebody that makes a difference. I've seen large groups of families part like the Red Sea and watch staff walk out. Now, when you as a manager or team leader show up and they got in your face and they got their finger going, you know what? You do have a valid problem. This sounds like a matter of concern. You know what? We're going to fix it. I got somebody for you right now. Y'all going to get somebody right now. Security TBD. Y'all going to fix it. We're all going to fix it. We're going to tell them to take it down a notch or haul it out of here. Now, disruptive patient, disruptive visitor policy. Do you gentlemen and ladies still use that? Look at that face. I saw a wrinkle from the backside of the room. Like, what is that? That is an actual contract that you use to administratively support us escorting this person out of here. Because administration, when it goes to patient relations as a complaint, like, oh, well, the nurse just went snap off and kick Bill out. No, we've got 3 times documented the security came up and had a heart-to-heart with Bill and told him to take it down a notch. So disruptive, you go on your portal and it'll say forms. And you look for disruptive visitor policy. And you print one out, it has about 3 pages. And security will come over and have a heart-to-heart with them. And we sign off on it, and they don't have to sign seeing it. But we're going to sign it and scan it in anyway. Security talk to you on da-da-da-da-da-da-da for being verbally aggressive with our staff. You want those done. So administration has a reason to support you. If nobody knows you have a problem, how can they help? I want you gentlemen and ladies to watch this part before I go forward, because I realize our time is so short together. I'm going to slide over so your little camera can see this. It's okay, I'll fit you back there. I've been called to go to a number of hospitals in joint training. TGH has an open heart and we share what we learn. I've not seen anybody else teaching what I'm going to show you today. A lot of people teaching active shooter and hospital response for active shooter. Nobody's working bedside safety drills. TGH is the only one. And this is my baby. So watch this. At bedside, this is where 85% of our assaults are happening in healthcare. At bedside, not with your patient roaming around the room, at your nurse station, somewhere in the hall, it's bedside. So when you stand from the bend of the elbow to the start of the wrist, this is the most dangerous segment in which you'll provide care. At the point that you slide forward and your thighs actually touch that bed, your feet now underneath or straight ahead, you have no true sense of balance. So in the event that even a senior citizen who you think is slow, they swing, pow! They can catch your face so fast, it's so unexpected. This is the danger zone. Be aware of when you're in a danger zone. How often do you gentlemen and ladies work in the box? You work with your chest facing the wall, your back facing the exit. Patient sits up to get aggressive and all that aggression is in your face. Some of you have longer hair. I have staff and my book over here that are what I call my whip action employees. They'll turn quickly to get out of that corner because they feel aggression. The hair does the thing, ka-chunk, gotcha. The worst documented kick to the face that we have in healthcare started with the staff with their chest facing that wall, no sign of an exit path. Patients sat up to get aggressive and they took the runner's mark. They angled forward too far, foot to the face, bam. So this is not safe nursing. How often do you gentlemen and ladies work in the box? Pull that computer on wheels right here. You just pull that blood pressure device right here. You box yourself in at bedside. Patient sits up to get aggressive, you're trapped. Do we turn our back to the bed and enter info. How's your level of pain? Pow! How's your level of pain? Now, smart nursing. You should always have sight of your patient. That keeps you safe. I have a computer at that 45 angle, I see them. Or I'm at the foot of the bed, I see them. My staff that may be or are expecting. My bedside safety drills for moms to be. Every time that you lean your lower stomach forward over that bed, you place your potential little one at risk. So I say every chance possible, if I'm on the left side of the bed, I blade my left thigh towards the bed. I dialogue with the patient, I reach in for meds, I reach in for vitals. Every time I retract, I'm back on D. They get aggressive, boom, I'm on D and I generate space. How far away from the bed? Oh my gosh, they sound like a choir now. So I told you all the spots to not stand. I told you about the danger zone. So where in the heck is a safe spot when you're at the bed? I'm at the bed, I'm in the danger zone, patient starts to elevate. Get in the safe zone. Look for the elbow, slide your outside hip just past that elbow. My back blades to the wall, so the exit path is clear, wall is behind me. The hand comes up, I can secure it. Stop, Bill, I got you. You're okay. But I'm in a safe margin. Patient can't reach out and grab me. I have plenty of time to see this. So I'm in here, I'm doing an IV, I'm doing what I do. They elevate, get in the safe zone, dialogue. I start seeing a V in the face. The hand starts becoming a fist. He starts using the 4-letter words. I'll know it's not time. Generate space. I'll be back, Bill. I'll give you a couple of seconds to get it together. Because guess what? Patients have the right to refuse care. Did I say that out loud on camera? They can tell you no. If they have capacity, they can refuse care. Before I flash it up there, visitor tries to slap your face. Does TJ's policy allow you to block? Oh, they said that like a question. Look, I got another one with wrinkles in her face. Y'all gonna need that night cream, man. I'm saying so many people with wrinkles. Am I allowed to block by policy? Yes. They said like such a question. For real white, we can block. Yes. Yes, you can. What you see up top is a clip of what CPI calls a supportive stance. Most of you, however, when you're dealing with that aggressive visitor, you will approach from what we call the natural stance. Come, join me. Nothing hurts forever. Come on, don't worry. And don't hit me, because I'm a senior citizen. I'm 58, so if you hit me, it's like a major felony hit open. Most of you, when you walk up to talk to those visitors, and sometimes your aggressive patients, you stand within this realm. Your feet are pointed straight ahead, feet are even, and you're dialoguing. They start to get verbally aggressive, and you're already too late. You cannot go from a natural stance to a supportive stance. That's bad. Bad choice. This is my visitor. She starts cursing, screaming, threatening, and I step back and I blade. Don't it look like I got ready? There are some people based on ethnicity, their walks of life, what they've experienced, that will take that as a point of aggression, and they will swing on you for real. Oh snap, she just tried me. Pow! If you start natural and they become aggressive, step back, stay in the natural. Your hands just came up defensive posture. Now I may stop at a bladed once I'm back. But I'm going to generate space. How much? Look at that. Everybody's got that thing. So watch this. Uh-oh. I told you you're allowed to block. Ooh. So I go from the finger, and that's how I'm going to try to pop her in the face one time. You'll notice they use two hands. They teach two hands because it's often my petite nurses that wind up with that big guy that weighs, it seems like he weighs 500 pounds, just all in your personal space. He's barking like a bulldog, got the finger going, and they're threatening. So CPI does allow, TGH does allow what we call a double tap. So if her hand were extended and is coming at my face, I'm on the outside. I'm never going to block and stay here. Why? She got another hand. She got another hand. If you don't change your space, your head will look like a pet dispenser. Pow. So they go here, I'm moving. And you will automatically, anytime you're going into defensive posture, thank you, ma'am, awesome job. You will say, stop, stay back. Say it.
Stop, stay back.
That has been taught universally in our hospital as a signal that staff needs assistance. Everybody from your environmental worker all the way through are taught, stop, stay back, come and catch your back till security arrives. When we respond in tandem, it is textbook perfect. When we respond as a group, it is textbook perfect. See my little guy in the military scrubs there at the bottom? He got caught in natural stance. Guy starts shooting blows at him. You bring your hand up to block, but some of them are going to get through. You want to generate space. Primal reflex, what the heck is that? Go for it. What's primal reflex? What do you think that is? Natural instinct. So then we'll tell you hospital-wide not to wake up patients that are fully asleep. Because some people, Bill fighting 7 people in his sleep and he's doing well. You shook Bill to get vitals and Bill fired on you too. Pow! It's not Bill's fault. Patient swung at you instinctively. Primal reflex. You pulled your chin out of the way. Your hands up. You blocked. Do I have to block open hand, closed fist, or can I use both? Ooh, open hand. Who's with him? Always open hand. Why people always scared to vote in Florida? That's why we got crazy rules. Who says always open hand, right? You're incorrect.
I was gonna say, if you're not.
Yes! The only time that you may have a closed clenched fist when blocking a blow because you're in defensive pattern. Someone threw a blow and you threw a hand up and they caught 1 digit. That is not good. That is not a great day at TGH. You're blocking and try to hit your face quick. They're coming at your headline. It's quick. Now you may block and move around them as I showed you in our outer perimeter. I want something additional for you guys. Oh, I do have it on the end. There we go. Because I know that our time is limited. Now, I'm trying to address some of the questions that were posed to me. A, you get little Billy that is taken off. You're trying to take Billy out for a walk, and Billy decides, I'm out of here. Like Elvis, I am leaving the building. Now, on first chord, did I leave it on there? I did not. I need to get out of this one. Give me a second, guys. So, don't want you. I need to give y'all the full CPI piece. Isn't it great when you have so many pieces? I apologize, guys. I want more than they give me on this first one for you. See if that's what that is. No. I'm hoping you guys all did that one already. Ha. Gotcha. One day they'll let me do all of these with you guys. So now, we're starting from our PD. Thank you for your patience. And you're walking with little Billy alone. Little Billy starts to try to get away from you. Watch this. There's a double standard at TGH. If there's an adult and they're Baker Act, Marchman Act, altered mental status, and they're in our ED, and they decide, I'm out of here, and they bust free, they take out their IV, and they start marching down the hall. Staff sees this on a monitor. They're instructed, notify security and TBD immediately, follow them at a safe pace, but you do not engage. You do not physically attempt to restrain. Because things can get interesting. They've had staff injured trying to stop aggressive adult Baker Acts trying to leave. Well, if a person is a Baker Act, Marchman Act, altered mental status, going through strong levels of delirium, we medically said they're not responsible for the choices they make. You can file a report, but they're not going to arrest them. They're not responsible. But when you're dealing with PD, even some of them can get large, you've got to make a careful assessment. We have within CPI what's called a decision-making matrix. Within that matrix, I look at her and I make an assessment. I said, oh, okay, can I stop her by myself while the cavalry is responding? And someone in my mind is like, man, I ain't scared of her, I got her. But then I look at this guy and say, oh, wait a minute. He might try to lock up. He might be stronger than I think because you're making an assessment. Sometimes that small person is really wiry and they've got a lot more strength than it appears. But you've got to make a decision fast. So they don't want, of course, our little ones to leave the island without a proper discharge. So I'm attempting the level 1, supportive and holding. So I'm going just above the elbow line and I'm trying to guide them back safely. I'm now going to utilize the assistance of any of my staff in the general area. As soon as possible, you're going to go to a 2-person. Come on, my lovely assistant. I have to buy you donuts or something after, right? You know, security needs donuts. So watch this.
It's $1, doesn't it?
Don't tell me that, girl. Security. So watch this. Inside hand goes to the inside. Outside hand goes to the outside. So my outside hand is coming at the wrist line. I'll secure and then I'm draping on the inside. And I'm not grabbing because some people, as soon as you make strong contact, they go into resistance mode. So if you watch, my hand is just draping over. They're coming up, no, this way. And I'm guiding and we're moving together. But I don't want to be here. You don't want to secure. I'm just a general touch. That way they feel my presence, but there's not a resistance needed. Now, God forbid this person decides, I'll beat the tar to both of you. And they become physically aggressive. Your CPI support, watch this close. I'm going from the inside of her elbow line where it bends. I'll bring it up. I'm bringing the hand in. I'm going to make it a nice fist. And I tuck her in my pocket. And I close the hand. And both of us are doing this together. Never do this alone. Why? The hand going to get bored. The hand going to reach out and touch someone like GTE. You pow, pow. Don't do that anymore. No. But punch with his hand for me. Go punch this one. I gotta charge you extra, man. I heard knuckles cracking. She tried to punch me for real. See, I just told you don't hurt old people. Go over there. Stop that. But what it does is give you an escort method of moving an aggressive PD from point A to point B without being punched, scratched, punched, scratched. If you notice, they also both keep their shoulder line behind the patient's shoulder line. That avoids that biting. You know, they try to bite. You're behind their shoulder line because there's some kids that will bite you. So, pop quick, real quick. Kid, he's 14. He just grabbed your forearm. He's only got 3 good teeth, but he done locked them all the way to the second layer of skin. I don't know. You immediately do what? No! No!
I just push my hand there.
Push in, come on.
Yeah, push in.
And?
And then create space because you're going to let go.
She's just gonna push in, that's it.
Well, because then you get to let go.
I'm so glad I got to cover this stuff for you guys. Because you're gonna get some children that bite. Hello?
A lot of children will like.
Yes.
They've been hit and bitten before.
So watch this. As soon as a child bites and you follow instinct and you pull,
Yeah, it's good.
you got a nice opening. Now you got a hope. You ready to get in trouble. You get ready to look deep in that chart. Oh my God, you nervous, you shaking. What does Bill have? Oh my God, you so nervous? What does his family have? You want to know everything about Bill because you done ripped a gaping hole in your arm. You do feed the bite, but you're going to add one more piece. You're going to feed the bite, reach across, and close the nostril line. The desire to breathe is greater than the desire to bite. Now you can retract without ripping a hole. Because if you just feed the bite, you put pressure on the jawline where it hurts, but guess what? I'm in pain, I'm going to bite harder. Now I went to level 3 in skin. I'm feeling bone now. I know, you'll build a 1 forever. Or at least until your test results come back. This one they use for psych, and they allow some of the psych PD to burn off aggression. Does anybody see a potential danger in this move? Everything within our format has been approved by our risk management. Risk management's entire team was CPI certified. This is the only one that's left in the clip that I didn't delete out of there because there's still psych facilities that use it. TGH will not, however. Risk treated CPI like a buffet. This is good, this is good, this is definitely no. You see the potential for a bite in the thigh?
Yeah.
The youth, in the event that they gather additional strength, can also push staff off balance. Now, this one they highly recommend for all of your youth that get aggressive. You want to spin and secure the arms under the line. They've got the thigh and the small of the back. You lean them off balance. You're not positioned to be headbutt. You can lean your head away. You can't be bit or scratched. You can pivot if they start getting too aggressive. Until what? Additional staff respond. So if you get a kid and you're outside and they bolt, if this person is an armed child that requires carrying, it's a code pink if they got away from you. If they are upright mobile, it is then a code yellow. So in a code yellow, how do I call for assistance? I got a code yellow. I got an 8-year-old that thinks he's a professional runner. He done just took off at a full head of steam. What do you do? Go, give me one, come on.
Call the security.
Call security, and what we're gonna tell them?
There's a code yellow, some 8-year-old running off.
Now they're gonna try to give you that quick questionnaire when you call on a code yellow. Is this person a Big Crack or Marchman Act? I have a PD that's in flight now. I need security now. I have PD in flight. You're gonna give them a description, location, tell them I need TBD and security. My patient just headed this way. This is what they're wearing. Black male, white male, Hispanic male. What are they physically wearing? Because you want live bodies out there with them right away. Now, kids trying to run and you can shield. You can shield. And as they start to move towards you, I can move that arm in and go from my position. Spin them. Lock it in. Hold them if you're there by yourself. You want to distract. Wait, wait, wait. I don't care if it's environmental and they're downstairs doing trash pickup and you've got a kid that tried to bolt from you. I need assistance. Team TGH. We call people from everywhere. You think security hasn't called in environmental? Bring me that bag of restraints right there, quickly. Teamwork. We got each other's back. I don't care what color you wear. Here's green scrub, blue scrub. I see people in red scrubs. You got people that will jump in and assist. This is universal. It covers all language barriers.
Thank you.
It's that time.
Yeah,
Thank you, thank you.
sorry.
Hopefully ladies got something out of this part. Questions for me? Yes.
Okay, I had a patient and it went out the front door. I mean, like, so before that even started, it left, it just did happen for real. It came out, I mean, how do you stop it from getting out the front door and going towards the water? Like, I mean,
So-
in everybody's position, I mean,
So watch this close. I personally had to respond to what started as a code bird, elevated to a code gray, younger female rehab patient that made it out the door,
That's the one.
down my waterside,
That's the one.
and she locked her arms around, I'm not going with anybody.
Yeah.
Don't nobody touch me. And TBD's there, had a physician respond out there, everybody's trying to talk to her. So, once a physician arrives and psych is there, as security, remember I told you if it's a bird, if it's de-escalatable, we let them do their thing. We allow them to give a shot at de-escalating this person moving back in. Once Doc looked at me and basically said, okay, we're exhausted with this, it's not working, she's not listening to any of us. We took her right back to this maneuver. We started here, she started elevating myself and Officer Rivera. We put her right back in that maneuver and walked her right back inside the building. And she walked with us just as fine. So, because you have water just outside your door, you have to be careful with frightening kids, right? You want to gather resources, you want to follow, but you got to be careful. Can I get them? Make sure. Remember that decision-making matrix? Okay, can I get them? Yes. Okay, got you. I need assistance. And you want to secure. You always want arms wrapped in. That ultimate piece I gave you was some arms crossed over. There's your ultimate goal. But this one looks too big for you to do it alone. Don't do it alone. Gather assistance. It could be maintenance. I need assistance with this patient.
because I think it was called a code BERT.
Initially went in as a
Yeah,
bird.
Yeah, I mean, so should it initially been called a code yellow then?
It's
I mean,
not,
is
it's
it-
not a yellow until she's outside your building without assistance, no staff, and she's getting out of your range. I am glad that you guys call security. Do you know when most people call a code yellow? They've looked for at least 10 to 15 minutes themselves first because they're panicking. Oh my God, I don't really want to call a calling all cars and let people know my unit lost a patient. Those 15 minutes are precious time that sometimes you're looking one direction, patients went another direction, and now we look back on camera, they're leaving the island. And we see them on the other side of the bridge walking down Bayshore towards downtown. That's a bad 15-minute jump. We want to stop them while they're on the island. So call security as soon as possible. I say when you know you've got those patients that are more interesting, work in tandem. Handy to take Bill outside. Can you walk with me for a couple of minutes? But you want to work in tandem.
Because there was a staff member, I think he was on break, and he actually saw what was going on, because when she was headed towards the water, I flew pretty much down by her, and then I saw another staff member, and then people came out, but it felt like 30 minutes, I swear to God.
It's hard to tell you what works because what works once may not work the second time. I've had a patient that stepped across a rail like that with me before and threatened to jump in the water. Quick thinking, I put on my glove and I held up my glove. I said, sir, look, I just talked to your mom. She told me to have you call her back. You don't know my mom? I said, you can't see her name and number on my glove? I was afraid I'd miss it, so I wrote it down on my glove. Ain't nothing on your glove? I said, see, you didn't take your meds today, did you? Your meds are bothering you. You didn't get them. Look close, you can't see it, and then I got them. But distraction, he let me get close enough. I secure him. Now I know there's nothing on the glove. But I'm going to challenge that with him long enough so he's focused here. I gave you something to focus on so I can get close. Little Petey, you can do the same thing. Look at my hand. Oh my God, I got an injury. Look. Gotcha. But you got to be ready when you move in close.
Yeah, I understand it with certain ones, but with her, she was already at the water, her leg was going over. And so I was right there with her. She goes, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm going to go.
You have to engage. Hospital has your back when it's PD. They do want you to engage. Yes.
So I know they're going to add security to the PDL.
Yes, they are.
Are there already plans to add security here?
It takes almost an act of Congress to get approval to hire another full body. you're adding an FTE. I don't know what you guys go through to add them. Oh my God, we gotta go to a committee.